Alright. I'm gonna use a marksman potion. I think there's a certain element of curiosity as well. You know, why did the ancient Nords bury their dead like this? What was the significance of all of it? Because the Nords we know of this era aren't building things like this, as far as we know. Right? Lots to think about. We took a slice to the back. That doesn't feel good. I think that took care of it. Did. Oh, they're too heavy. Okay. I think the strange thing, you know, as I think about, you know, looking at this construction from the perspective of somebody who's never seen it before and trying to understand it. So many things that seem to be carved with ease out of solid stone, which obviously implies a level of sophistication that's pretty amazing when you think about it. And then you have things like this, right? This ramp way that, you know, is made out of the most basic material imaginable and sort of lashed together with rope. Kind of interesting. I think the juxtaposition of sophistication and then this kind of primitive construction is interesting and something that Ettient would be considering as well. Carrying. Oh, this is different than the other ones. They're carrying a body. Can't really tell if that's what they're carrying as well. He's got a dagger in each hand and flames wreathing his head. Pretty fascinating stuff. Okay. Let's see what we can find out here. So let's take a closer look at our golden claw. Ah. Bear. Some kind of a bug, maybe a moth. And an owl. All right. Let's confirm that one more time. Owl. Try it now. I think that to Ettient, this place would look incredible. I mean, how can you look at a place like this and even question the idea that this barrow would have some spiritual importance or something? What Ettient doesn't quite understand yet is he doesn't have any context around how poisonous the dragon priests were. So, like I said earlier, his attitudes about all of this may change over time as he learns more. And again, the word wall. Okay, well, we know there's something in there. What is that? caught up in it. Let's get to the high ground. Whoa. Ooh. He took a lot of punishment. Alright, we gotta find our way out of here. Alright. Somewhere in here there's an artifact. We need to find it. Let's make sure this thing is good and dead. It's bigger than the others we've encountered. That looks like it right there, doesn't it? Look at that. It's a map, right? I mean, it's basically a map of Skyrim. You could almost take a rubbing of it. And the language is the same as what's on the wall. Can't read it, but... Alright. Let's keep moving. Very early on in this Let's Play, we had a discussion about how Ettient was sort of built for the great outdoors, and what would it be like when he got into a barrow. Well, here you go. It's interesting to think that we've made it as high a level as we have without really clearing any barrow. Not a significant one, anyway. We've seen them. But he's done very little with them. Alright, we've come out the other side. Well, that wasn't too too significant a deviation from our normal plan. So in terms of time, we should be okay. But we've got to get this back to the Jarl. What is this? Ah. We saw that cabin from that perch right up there. So now we've got our bearings. We know where we are in relationship to the barrow. Hey.
I'm just a poor old woman, dear. No need to trouble yourself with me.
What are you doing out here alone? All right. Suit yourself. Whoa, look at the size of that pack. There's another one there, right? Pit wolf. It seemed bigger than the other ones, didn't it? Small note. Let's check this out. Adril, I need you to go out and find the missing pit wolves before the next tournament. We lost too many during the last fights, and we won't be able to train new ones in time. Find them and bring them back to Crag's Lane at once. Crag's Lane. Well, that's different than the place where we encountered the pit wolves previously. Which means that the pit wolves were not actually trained at Falder's Tooth. They must have been trained at this Crag's Lane place and then delivered there for fighting. Okay, this is a tower we saw from the other side. We also saw that it was being manned, presumably as a watch post. Yeesh. Don't see any movement. Scooch down here a little bit. Alright, we're going to try to pick one off at the back of the line here. There goes this superhuman arrow dodge capabilities. Tell ya, between Ariel's curse and the superhuman dodge, it's a wonder that you can hit anything. I wish I had a superhuman dodge. Okay, these guys were all really heavily armed. This guy didn't have a ton of armor, but big, heavy weapons. These other two guys were... Oh, no. I thought this was the chief. The chief was the guy who had all the fancy armor, so... Alright. We removed the last of the bandits. They had no idea at this point that their comrades were dead. But Etienne's not willing to leave a single one of them standing. They were obviously here for nefarious purposes and practically on the doorstep of an old lady living in a shack in the woods down there. There's my warning shot. Recovered. Let's see what these bandits have that's worth keeping. Not a lot, but we'll take it. Well, they were certainly geared up like they planned to stay for a while. Okay. Let's get down to business. We know who gets the claw, and we know who gets the stone. So we're going to take care of both of them. Wait a minute. There's Riverwood. Found ya. More Quicksilver. Let's see if we can find a shallow spot up this way. I'd like to be able to just wade across and not turn it into a full-on swim, if at all possible. But it doesn't seem very shallow along here, so... All right. Might be able to make this work. Whoa, stay on the rock. Slippery. Okay. No, okay. We're swimming, apparently. Well, it's still wading. We didn't actually swim. We were able to wade it, but wading waist deep really wasn't the plan. All right. I think there's a shallow spot right down in here somewhere, too. Like in this area, maybe? But it's a fast-moving river, so wading across it waist deep doesn't seem like a good idea. Hey. Hey, I'm kind of in a hurry, but I thought you'd want this.
The sooner you... Don't let my sister do anything fool... You found it! There it is! Strange. It seems smaller than I remember. Funny thing, huh?
Smaller?
I'm gonna put this back where it belongs. I'll never forget this. You've done a great thing for me and my sister.
It looks huge to me.
Thank you so much for taking care of those thieves. The Riverwood Trader is back to the way it used to be.
All right, well, what do you got for sale then?
Take a look.
All right. You know what I've been thinking? I've been thinking that perhaps I have a mod going on here that, unbeknownst to me, is intentionally making smithing gear hard to come by. That's what I'm thinking is going on here. The fact that we haven't seen a single item of, like, even minor smithing, to me is just very suspicious. So, I'm thinking that it's possible that I have a configuration of mods here where that's being done intentionally, and if I had to be suspicious of any particular mod, I think that I might suspect Ordinator. Or at the very least, something by Ordinator's author, Anai Scion. I have multiple mods in my load order by Anai Scion. One of the mods that he has created is a mod called Winter Mist Enchants. And that mod adds a bunch of new, sort of really cool enchantments to the game. In fact, it kind of overhauls enchantments in the game a little bit, I guess is how I would describe it. Now, that mod, as far as I know, is not available for SE yet. I haven't seen it. But I'm pretty sure... Hey, I'm just moving through. I'm pretty sure that Ordinator makes allowances for integrating with it. So it makes me wonder if perhaps Ordinator is removing some of those items somehow. Because it's hard for me to accept that we have hit level 34 now and have only encountered 2 items with Fortify Smithing Enchant on them. It just seems impossible. So I'm thinking that that's what's going on. And if that's the case, I may have no other choice if we want to continue to improve our gear than to disenchant the Silver Blood family ring. I think what I'm going to do is offline, I'm going to use some console commands to just do some digging around and see if there are other items in the leveled lists besides the 2 items we know of that have that enchantment on them. If I confirm that there's nothing but those 2 items, then I think that's definitely what's happening. I can't say for sure that it's Ordinator that's doing it, but it's definitely something like that. So... I don't think it's any accident that the only 2 items that we have found in-game that have the Fortify Smithing Enchant on them are items that are very specifically quest items. Items that you can't remove from the game without breaking a quest. So to me, that makes perfect sense. It's kind of amazing to think, if that is the case, that... given how rare those items are, that we've had both of them in our hands at one point or another here during this playthrough, so... Anyway, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to head back to our hideout, and in the morning we are going to turn in this Dragonstone to the Jarl. We're going to see what he has to say about that. Hopefully he'll let us off the hook and we can continue on to Markarth. But... that is a mission for another day. So I want to thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.